It's the Daily Dog.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being here today. You have come on a momentous occasion for our small little YouTube channel. This is our 50th Daily Doug, so we are excited about this 50th episode in this vlog series. And to celebrate, we're going to do a reaction video, and we're going to go to one of the biggest and baddest bands of all time, Opeth. And I am excited about it. I actually have been to an Opeth concert before. That may surprise some of you. Even though I am a classical composer, I like listening to a lot of different music. I went to their October 1st, 2016 concert with my brother in New York City at Radio City Music Hall. And unfortunately, I do not recall a lot of the specifics of that show. We were quite inebriated. But I do remember that we had a fucking good time. And so, and they put on a great live show. So I know a little bit about Opeth. I've heard some of their stuff, but I've never really given it an extremely critical listening for a lot of the particulars as to how they put the song together. So this will be interesting to listen to this particular song, which is Reverie / Harlequin Forest. I believe it came out in 2005. If I'm mispronouncing that, humble apologies. But we're going to dive right in because, like I said, I have not heard this. We're going to just respond to it and see what we can terse out and what speaks to me in the moment, and we'll see what happens. So this is Opeth, Reverie, Harlequin Forest. It is the studio recording. Let's go right to it.
Into the tree, past meadow grounds, and further away from my home.
That's an A. Right off the bat, not much of an introduction. Get right into it, guys. This is an 11-minute and 39-second song. They're not fucking around. They're getting right to it. That's an interesting chord progression. I want to see how much they do with that. It's right down the D minor scale and up to an E major chord. That's strange. Then down to an E flat major chord, flat 2. And back to D minor. It creates an interesting chromatic scale that they build. Right. Goes back to D minor. It's a very interesting progression. Power. Minor 1. Up a major second. E, G sharp, B. E flat, G, B flat. So it creates this nice little internal melody, yada-dum, right in the middle of all those chords. And it sounds really great, impeccably put together and produced. Minor 4-1. Yeah, back to that same progression. Is he overdubbing with himself? Or is somebody else singing with him? You know, it's so powerful behind him, and he's just singing like this. And he's got such a smooth and wonderful color to his voice. He doesn't have to try to do anything special with it, at least not in this little section. It's a really neat dichotomy to me, how he's got such a mellow and smooth color to his voice, and the guitars are just kind of going around like that as they go. There's that flat two again.
So I run. A train of sickness leading to me. If I am haunted, then you'll see.
Modulated. That's now an E. That's a power E in the bass. E minor.
There falls another. People rise who needs to play. Insane regrets that don't drop. Instruments of death before me.
That was cool. I've heard him do this before, this growl that he does. You can actually, I mean, I've taught at Westminster Choir College, right? So I've hung out with a bunch of singers in my lifetime. And singers, you'd be surprised, doing that, you can do it without really ruining your voice. It's just where it's placed in your resonating chamber. Whether it's way up here or whether it's back here, it can sound kind of gruffy, you know, but you're still it's just like a vocal fry that's just got some extra air to it to make it sound kind of growly and sinister. But he's using good breath support. He's just placing it in a different spot to get a different color, using his instrument as only he can. That's pretty cool. Makes it harder to understand the lyrics.
You are the laughing stock of the absent mind. Confession stuck in your mouth like a demon's river.
Back down to D. It's like a third section. And the third is different from the other two. There's that same chromatic feel. I like how the bass and the guitar riff kind of join together at times and then go their separate ways. It makes it really sound interesting. Right. That's cool. These are symphonic choices, guys. What's fascinating to me about this is with these metal and progressive bands that have these longer songs, they're allowed to think more symphonically, like a classical composer might think of how to segment a piece of music into different sections that has contrasting ideas and contrasting melodies, maybe contrasting keys, contrasting ideas that make it a more cohesive sort of journey to through the idea of the song, instead of it just being a 3-minute or 4-minute song that you might hear on top 40 radio. Love the acoustic stuff that they've got going in this section.
Nocturnally helpless, weak in the light, depending on a prayer, pacing deserted roads to find a seed of home.
Is that a mellotron? They've kind of got me confused a bit where they're going. These are kind of just non-functional sounds, but it's fascinating. I'll move back to D minor. And this grooves so well. Listen to him sing all day, y'all.
Roots are sunken
Where's that mellotron?
Time bound, reaching for the light.
That's so in the pocket. Yeah, 5 and D minor. Is a ninth to the minor 10th. It's a neat way to introduce dissonance that resolves, like a tension and release. Sorry for my singing, but that's an E over a D chord, and it's got some movement at the beginning of that phrase that it pushes these phrases forward, and it gives you that sense of satisfaction when the dissonance resolves and just keeps pushing you forward. These are nice little phrases. It's impeccably mixed. The mids. What I miss so much in a lot of these metal bands is the mid-range sounds being present and just warming out and connecting the bass to these like screaming guitars. And the fact that the guitars are just nice in a nice mellow range is a great choice, I think. New section, up a step to E.
Harlequin Forest, awaiting redemption for a lifetime.
That's a nice there. It's interesting. I've heard this a lot in metal bands too. The more that I'm listening to metal music, it's in classical we might go from 1 to 5 or 1 down to 5. They're going to the third a lot, the minor third, especially in the bass for these power chords. They're not necessarily changing chords. They're just going to that another member of that chord as like a motive to use.
No one bothers, I know they forgive.
There you go. I noticed this was in the middle of this album. Is the entire thing a concept album? Let me know. I've heard Ghost of Perdition before, which I know is on this record. There he goes. It's just like a scream on a D. Right, that low note's an F over a D chord. Screwed so hard, y'all. Get these two different types of sounds next to each other in the same song by the same band. It's a testament to how vocally gifted Michael is. Just back it off. Well, the drummer's just having a good old time. That's fun. And the restraint not to have everybody doing something virtuosic all the time is a great choice, especially for songs this long.
Daring life comes to thunder. Useless record we made, still by a smoldering
find myself listening to the rhythm and those middle notes. There's some 16th note syncopation in this, but I think the overall beat patterns aren't straying away. Yeah, so they're keeping the 8th note pulse consistent and just doing some 16th note syncopated groupings. I wonder where they're going to go from here. Close to being done, right? This is almost hypnotic with those descending chromatics, harkening back to the original part of the song. Stopped. That's cool. Wow. So I was expecting them to go even someplace other than where they had been, because that low note in the bass, I think it was like a synthesizer that was reinforcing the bass at the end there, was just growing and growing and growing in sound, and then we're done. Guys, what can you say? Opeth is like the Swiss Army knife of metal bands. They can sure they can do this, but they can also do that, and they can do that, and they can do that, and they can do whatever the fuck they want to, because they're Opeth. I really like the hearing like synthesizer or a keyboard instrument in there, just if nothing else to fill out the sound of the band and to kind of be the glue that connects everything. We have that in classical music too. We have, the violas are the glue section of the strings, and the horns kind of glue the woodwinds and the brass together. And so you need sometimes those supporting elements to make everything around it sound that much better. I cannot wait to go to another Opeth concert, because this time I think I'll be able to more fully appreciate the music, because I will be listening to more. Thanks to my brother for continuing to harp on me to give these incredible musicians the chance and the recognition that they flat out deserve. So kudos to Opeth, Reverie / Harlequin Forest. This was fun. Hope you enjoyed that, and we'll be back again with some more reaction videos. Until then, thanks for listening, and we will see you next time on The Daily Doug.